All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to another awesome show. This is the Real Estate Uncensored Marketing Roundtable. We are missing Mr. Jake Wolf, Sergeant Wolf, Papa Wolf. He is on the road. He is hammering down the freeway, coming back from Florida. But we have an amazing guest, Miss Michelle Berman. But we're going to wait to bring this beautiful girl in because I got to talk shit to these two weirdos down on the bottom part of my screen. Gene Volpe, Nick Sakis. Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm not doing as great as Gene. I mean, look at this beautiful backdrop. He's smoking a cigar. I don't know what the fuck's going on right now.
I don't either. And he's going to just suck on that cigar. But before we hear from him, here's our countdown.
Greg, my bet is that Gene is not wearing any pants right now, smoking that cigar outside.
You know what? I don't think he's wearing pants either. And that's the weird thing about him. I mean, he's wearing some pants. He's bald and pants. Where? That's the real question.
I'm about to let him speak for himself when we get back.
All right, guys, here we go. We got a great show. We have the bald pantless G.
Wait a minute.
And Nick Sakis.
Wait a minute.
Show the
pants on.
No, listen, you can't. When the volume of the music is so damn loud, I can't hear anything you're saying. So
yeah, very loud.
We're all drowned out. So talk shit now to my face.
Okay,
I bet you're not wearing any pants right now.
Oh no, it's Wednesday. I'm on my deck. There's people around. I have pants.
Okay,
on.
all right.
All right, enough, guys. We have a lady on the show, Miss Michelle Berman. How are you, my friend?
I'm so good. You guys are awesome. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to have you here, guys. We're going to be talking about Reels. We're going to talk about Instagram. We're going to be talking about her event that she's going to be throwing here coming up here very, very soon. So, Michelle, please introduce yourself. Tell everybody a little bit about you, and then let's go really hard in the paint. Let's really knock it out of the park because I want to learn about Reels. I mean, I got tons of paper over here ready to take notes. So, who are you? Where are you from? What you do? What's your favorite color? And what big event is happening? There's two of them coming up pretty soon, right?
Yeah, there are. So we'll talk about the one personal one first, maybe, and then we'll go into the other one. But for those of you guys who don't know, my name's Michelle Berman. If you're trying to find me on Facebook, it's Michelle Berman Michael, which is my married name. Recently had our formal wedding. Thanks to COVID, last year it didn't happen. So May 8th, this past May 8th, we had our first or our real official wedding, which was really fun and special. And then other than that, about me, I'm born and raised in California. I actually grew up in La Mirada. And currently live in Mesa, Arizona, but will be moving here shortly since my husband will be working for the military somewhere we don't know yet. Hopefully Texas, that's our goal, but the universe has to align. Other than that, I have been in the industry of real estate / the mortgage space for almost 7 years. And I am not a real estate agent, but I am a coach, mentor, course creator, speaker, and all of the things. Really big event for me is, I know you guys can't tell, even though because I'm sitting down, but I am 6.5 months pregnant, due with my first son in August. His name is Knox, named after Fort Knox, thanks to my husband. And we're very excited to embark on motherhood, and happy to be here with you guys and talk about my favorite thing in the world, which is Instagram.
Oh my God, that's awesome. We're super excited for you, and you got your event coming up. We'll get into that as we get down. We can't let everybody know everything up front.
Nope. Can I save some secrets?
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about Reels. And now this is pretty much a show where I'm just going to shut up because I'm thoroughly interested in Reels and how to use them. Everyone's talking about them. You're an expert in Reels. Gene is, if you guys can't see him, he's sucking on a giant cigar sitting on the back patio, and Nick is in his studio. So Michelle, we're going to let you lead it off, and we're going to jump into kind of just break it down for us. How do we use them? How do we utilize them? How do we, really get business from them? And then Gene and Nick, you guys, as always, jump in. Let's make this a fun 4-way conversation and bring value to everybody who's listening. So Michelle, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So I love Reels, but it's definitely something that's scary for people. There's no way to deny that. A lot of you guys, or a lot of the clients that you've dealt with, I'm sure, they struggle with Reels. They struggle with being on video. People have a hard time even doing video in the first place, let alone trying to record something that takes some editing. But what Reels essentially are is a new piece to the Instagram platform, and it's essentially TikTok on Instagram. Now, on our last show, when I was on here with you guys, I think I mentioned that why do I love Instagram so much? And it's because Instagram is all of these fun additional social platforms, but in one place, right? So on Instagram, you can do TikTok now in the form of Reels. You can do Snapchat now in the form of stories. You can do YouTube in the form of IGTV videos. And Instagram really has created a platform where we can do all of those things in one app versus having to go back and forth between a bunch of different ones. So when TikTok became fire and it was this big, super trendy thing, Instagram, of course, got very, very smart and created what we now know of as Reels. But why are Reels really important? I think for one, if you're struggling with getting on video in the first place, Reels is an opportunity to use video without actually having to talk to your phone. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of trending songs and, you know, things that you can do without having to use your own voice to do it. So if video is something that you know you need to get better at doing or even get more confident doing, Reels is a great place to start. Because again, you don't have to even use your own voice. You could let the song itself that you're choosing do the talking. And then another big thing with Reels, and I was talking about this actually this morning when I was doing another little mini training for somebody. I was talking about tangible and subliminal ROI and what that means, right? So there's two different forms of leads on social media, and tangible leads, which is somebody that lands in your DM inbox on Instagram or your PM private message box on Facebook, saying, I want to buy a house, or, hey, can you help me sell something or sell this house? Or even on the loan side, hey, can you help me with a home loan? Those are the best kinds of leads, right? Everybody wants those leads. Everyone wants the easy people that just come to them. There's no selling involved or selling required. But what they're not willing to do is do the things like Reels that get them noticed and get them seen in order for those kinds of leads to happen. So if you are going to use Reels or have just decided maybe I'm not going to because it seems hard, I urge you to understand that if you want social media to work for you, you have to be willing to do the things that the platform is saying or screaming at you to do so that you can be found and so that you can ultimately generate that. I mean, who doesn't want a lead that just comes to them? You know, I think that's all of our goals. But Reels is that piece.
It totally is. And I don't mean to cut you off. I think
No,
what you're talking about is something incredibly powerful. Nick and Gene, jump in whenever you want to. But I mean, I'm working with obviously Jake over at Clever Leads, spelled with a K. And they are generating leads, and it's the most incredible thing to experience, to get someone who, like, when you call them, they're like, oh my gosh, I've been following you, watching you, checking you out. I mean, I heard about you. Yes, love to talk. Come on over. I had a call with a gal for $2 million, and we can flip it for 2.8. And it's the easiest damn thing on planet Earth. And so using the video and being visible on a consistent basis and letting people get to know your personality, like Michelle, you're talking about your, the pregnancy, kind of your plans and moving and everything else. So like, we've never met, probably won't meet because thank you, COVID. But I'll tell you one thing.
We will meet eventually. I promise.
I'll give you a big hug when I see you. And, the thing is that, we feel like we kind of know all of each other. Gene and Nick, never met these two dumbasses. I met Jake, never met these two fools, and I've been working with these idiots for years. When I say idiots, I mean it in the nicest possible way, and Gene's giving me a nasty look right now.
No, I think it's funny. Go ahead.
I think that's the amazing thing, right? Like, I honestly believe in the power of social media so much because of exactly what you just said, Greg. I think even today, I mean, the best relationships I have in business, and as far as my clients are concerned, most of them are ones I've never met. I've never even seen in real life. But we know each other on a very personal and deep level because of things like this, right? Getting to do Facebook Lives together, getting to do Zoom, allowing them to feel connected to me on my social platforms. I mean, being a first-time mom, like, I know I can say this because we're on this show. Normally I wouldn't curse, but I can on this one. But becoming a new mom is scary as shit, right? Like, it's this conversation that a lot of women don't have. And I've been able to have that with people very raw and very vulnerably. And these are people who are already invested in me and already invested in what we do. And now I know that they're going to continue to be and continue to send referrals because our relationship is not rooted in business anymore. It's rooted in a personal, very deep understanding of one another. And so for me, you know, if I ever get to meet Greg in real life or either Eugene or Nick, like it's the same thing. Like I hope that you guys give me a hug instead of shaking my hand and making it weird, right? Like, because that's what we're able to do. And to piggyback that into the real conversation, that's what reels are. It's an opportunity for you to create connection with your face and your personality on social media.
What, and I'm literally asking this from my own personal knowledge. So the three of you don't fucking make fun of me. What exactly is a reel?
So a reel is essentially a 3 to 30 second clip, or 3 to 30 second video. That can be broken down into very small snippet or little clips that can play together that look like it was one really flowy video, but it's all these micro clips that are smushed together. And what reels do is it allows you to voice it over with music. It allows you to use trending songs. It allows you to, again, create educational content and match it with a fun song. Like I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Paper Airplane song where it goes like, I don't know about you. And then it goes like, boom, 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 like bang, bang. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't know the name of the song, but I think it's called Paper Airplanes actually. But that song, I just recorded a reel this morning using that. And it was me in my office. I staged it where I was like over in the corner on my phone, which all of us are always on the phone, right? We also did one where I was like on here, like coaching, speaking. We also did one of me and my planner trying to take notes and like trying to get that all organized. And then we did another clip of me trying to, you know, just do what I do in the office here by creating content, answering emails, doing all of the tedious day to day. But we voiced it over with that song. So it became this way of entertaining our audience while also telling them what we do for a living, right? So it's up to 30 seconds. It's fast. It's easy to consume. It's funny most of the time. Plus we get to use fun songs that we like.
So the question is it the same as TikTok?
It's not, essentially, I would say yes. The only difference is Reels is the Instagram version of TikTok and Reels is within Instagram, right? So TikTok is a separate application. You have to have a separate app on your phone to do it. It's obviously gone viral and been very successful. But Instagram's version of the same thing is Reels. And in order to create a reel, it has to be done within the Instagram app.
Nick is shaking his head vigorously. So Nick, weigh in on this, brother. I want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, I'll piggyback. So I like the question of, is it the same as TikTok? Okay. A lot of what we do, a lot of what Gene does, it's all about strategy. Okay. Because we only have a certain amount of hours in the day. And a lot of times new platforms come up like Matt has yelled at Greg several times about getting on Clubhouse. He was all about Clubhouse for a while. But as soon as TikTok came on the scene, it exploded with growth, and every realtor under the sun was like, oh my gosh, should I be making TikToks? The answer is yes and no. Then Instagram Reels came out, and it's like, well, what's the difference? It's both the same thing. Should I spend my time on TikTok because I can go, quote unquote, more viral than Instagram? And my stance on that has been no. And here's why. TikTok has an aura about it in the demographic of people that you want to attract. So the 35 to 55-year-old demo that is still alive and well on Instagram, and you probably already have them as followers on Instagram, think that TikTok is a Chinese app. It's out in the ecosystem, okay? So I'm not getting political or anything, but there's been a huge air of caution around downloading TikTok. So your ideal customer is more likely to be on Instagram, and you having fun with Instagram Reels and attracting them is much more likely for you to get a sale, in my opinion, and for what I'm seeing, because you can go just as viral on Instagram as you can 100%. On TikTok if you have the right message, if you know what you're saying, you know what you're doing. So my recommendation to any realtor here, if you have an Instagram account, go hard on Reels before you go open up a TikTok account and try to be super viral, brand new account, and new followers on TikTok.
Yeah, I couldn't support Nick's comment enough. That I 100% agree. And to Nick's point, to expand on it, right? Your demographic, you got to meet them where they're at, right? And you also have to be where they are in order to get them over to where you want them to be. I hope that makes sense. My example, I will say, the older demographic of real estate agents, that is my target client, right? A lot of them are on LinkedIn. I personally haven't used LinkedIn since 2008 when I was graduating from high school, getting ready to go into college. And I have since picked it back up. And what I have been told is that the reason I needed to do that is because a lot of the real estate agents that need help with social media, need help with Instagram, don't understand how to do it, but know they need it, are surfing and living on LinkedIn. But my goal to be on, or with being on LinkedIn, is to get them over to Instagram so that they start using it. Now, to Nick's point, right? If your ideal client is, in my opinion, a teenager using TikTok, then yeah, go live on TikTok and get their eyeballs, and move them over to your Instagram or into whatever platform you really want them to consume so that they convert. But if your ideal client is, for example, on Facebook, right? Use Facebook as an opportunity to share Instagram content to push people over to your Instagram. At the end of the day, the answer is meet your clients where they're at, and then also live where they are currently living, seeking information for where they know they should be, if that makes sense.
That's actually a really powerful statement you just made, and I hope people really kind of resonate with that. Gene, you've been creepily quiet, and when you do this, I think you're plotting my death, and I would love to have you weigh in on this a little bit, because Michelle's dropping hammers, and you're sitting there just puffing a cigar, so she's winning, and you need to get a couple of goals in here, okay?
I don't know this was a game, number one. Number two, if I had ever plotted your death, it would have been long gone. You'd be long gone. It's not something that takes me
Hashtag
3 times to
frozen.
have happen. Who, me or you?
Yeah.
You.
Me? Don't worry about it. I'm only smoking a cigar here. So, look, I agree with Nick to an extent too. I mean, this is not a TikTok episode, but things are changing on that platform. It's expanded its base a little bit. It's getting better from an advertising perspective. That's probably another show for another day. But I mean, I think everything that she's saying is right on point. And the beginning of this, I think we kind of glossed over. It's something we've been talking about for 8 years now, right? Which is people are still afraid to get on video. And and Instagram and TikTok are doing everything to make it easier for you by laying songs in front of you and giving you dance templates. And there's so many things you can do so easily on it. And look, you go look at my stuff. My kids will say to me all the time, like, Dad, how come your followers are going down? I'm like, because I don't post anything. I don't post anything for myself. The more you post, the more people see it. And if you're not feeding the algorithm with reels and with stories and with newsfeed posts, guess what they're going to do to you? They're going to cut your organic reach. So she's right. You got to get out of your own way. I feel like a broken record. If you've watched the show for 6 years, you've heard me say the same exact thing, but yet still nobody's doing it, which is amazing.
Well, it's because, I mean, you have to be seen and heard a minimum of 8 times for people to start recognizing who you are, what you do, how you do it, where you do it.
But those are old numbers, dude. That's long before social media. Like right now, I would be willing to bet you it's 24 times. But it's not less, right? Like when you were doing mailers and when you're doing all these other things before video, before podcast, before audio, before Clubhouse, that was 8 times. Now I'll see people 100 times before I even think about picking up the service. Like it's gotten harder for people, not easier.
Yeah, and can I piggyback off that really fast, because what he just said is something that I freaking feel like I need to stand on the top of Mount Everest with a microphone and scream out loud. But like, stop doing and spending a crap ton of money on Facebook ads or Zillow leads or whatever the one of bazillion different ways you can spend your advertising dollars if you don't have anything to back it up. Because if you're going to spend a bunch of money on these Facebook ads, and I literally had a conversation with somebody on Friday last week about this exact thing. The gentleman said, I'm converting about 6% of my leads from Facebook ads, and I'm making about a 30% return, right? So he's making about 30% average more per month than what he's spending on Facebook ads. Now that's not a bad number. I'm not sitting here saying that's bad. He should stop doing that. But what I am saying is that number, if instead of being 30%, could be 50 or 60% if he actually had an Instagram, which he doesn't. If he actually had content on Facebook, aside from pictures of his dog, which he doesn't. And on his Instagram, the one post he did post when after we had talked was a freaking listing, trying to sell a listing, like, but nothing else. So if you're going to spend all this money on Facebook ads or any of these other lead capture mechanisms, and you don't have any social presence to back it up, to Gene's point, you're going to need more than 24 touch points. You're going to need like 40 if you're lucky before that person's going to make the decision. We live in an age right now where without a digital footprint or a virtual or the ability to make a virtual handshake with someone, you're so null and void. I don't care how many Facebook ads you put in front of me, because if I look you up and you don't have any presence and you don't have any content to show me why I should spend my money with you on the biggest purchase of my life, like, bye.
So when it comes to the touch points, I want to kind of break that down a little bit and unpack that. Describe what a touch point might look like, because the reason why I'm asking, again, personal, self gratification on this one, because I want to be able to be better at what I do. I mean, is it touch point? And Nick, Gene, Michelle, of course, is it like doing stories on Instagram and Facebook? Is it doing YouTube videos? Is it doing YouTube shorts? Is it doing Instagram posts? Is it doing the reels? I mean, is it doing all of it? You need to have someone put this together. How can you manage your time? Because not everybody is a marketer. Not everybody has the ability to be that visible. So how would you craft that? Michelle, I want to go to you, then I want to go to Nick, and then I want to go to Gene on this, because I'm struggling with it personally, because it's so much fucking work. It is like, it's another mother effing job to do this. Now, on top of dealing with clients and contracts and everything else. So Michelle, break it down, girl.
Well, number one, I would say for you, Greg, you're in a position in your career where delegation is key, right? I mean, there's no way that you work and operate at the level that you do without help. Sure. And I think when it comes to where do you need to be and what do touch points mean, my ultimate goal with any clients that I work with, no matter what, is that wherever somebody finds you, they get the same person regardless of what platform it is, right? Meaning, if I find you on a Facebook ad and I go to your Instagram, I get the same person. If I go to LinkedIn after finding you on Instagram, I get the same person. If I go to Facebook, I get the same person that I get on X, Y, and Z. So my point is that creating branding is all about repurposing content. I love the word branding, and I know Nick will back me up when it gets to him of why that's so important. But creating cohesive branding so that no matter where I find you, I get the same person is way easier than you think it is. There's companies out there that do content or micro content, right? So if you have a 15, 20-minute video, send it to your micro content company and have them shoot back to you 7 pieces of micro content to use. And you can use the same clip on 7 different platforms because it'll get sent to you in different sizes and the right squares or whatever for whatever platform it's getting put on. I had a client yesterday who, I don't do micro content, by the way, but we offer the service of doing everything for you as far as creating and developing and telling you what to do as far as content. But the micro content piece to it is do that one video, like this video, right? This live for you, Greg, chop it up into 5 pieces, right? Do a short, less than 2-minute version of it on Instagram, put the whole thing on YouTube. It's already here on Facebook, right? And then craft it and make it vertical and fit to stories. So you can share to stories. And then you have one live video that took you 40 minutes to record that you can put on every platform. And that's the missing piece, because consistency is like the devil word. I feel like it's like the black plague of social media and just of life in general. I need to be more consistent, right? But how do you become more consistent? You understand how to leverage what you're really good at. So Greg, you love doing these Facebook lives, right? Yeah. You love your friends that you get to do it with and take advantage of that. And instead of trying to do all the things all the time, repurpose the thing that you're passionate about so that it shows up everywhere. To my point being that no matter where I get Greg, I get the same awesome person that you are.
God, I'd love her. So, guys, sorry, Gene, Nick, you guys have to go because it's just going to be me and Michelle now because she became my new best friend. And she's way better looking than you two.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And listen, I want...
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was making hand motions before, right? Like I was doing this, and Nick was laughing. And right, because she said the magic word: chop, 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 chop. Right. So I think about what Bettina just said. She beat me to the punch, which is who's one of the OGs at creating content. Who's somebody when you're in a feed, all you got to do is click their webpage one time, and you're now inundated with text messages, emails, YouTube videos. Like, give me a name. Who do you think of when I say that?
Well, Gary Vee.
Gary Vee. So what does Gary Vee have? Gary Vee has 20 people on his staff. To Michelle's point about Greg, he doesn't do it himself. He does it with other people. You got to get there first, right? So what you have to do first is create your brand, create your content, start pushing stuff out. Like here's an example. Here's a good idea. To Michelle's point about using 40 minutes of this video, you don't even have to be calculated. Just cut a piece out. Like I can actually cut a piece of this thing out of me talking, and somewhere in it, just stop it. Right? Like it'll take me 3 minutes to edit it. I take a minute and a half of me talking and cut the thought process off in the middle of the sentence and be like, want to see more? Follow the link in the bio. Right? So you can it doesn't have to be calculated. You can drag people anywhere you want based off of the content if the content's good enough and if you're there consistently enough.
And to Gene's point, you can drag them anywhere you want and they're going to find the same person anywhere you send them. Right?
Yep. 100%. 100%. Yep.
And Gary Vee's office, if you guys have ever seen Gary Vee's office, he has, 100 cubicles. He's got 7-10 offices around the outside. These are all people that do the things to make so that Gary Vee can do what Gary Vee loves doing, which is speaking, interacting with his individual one-on-one people, because Gary Vee does more interacting on a one-on-one level than he ever does in group settings, right? Because that's Gary Vee. Right. He's just that type of person. So you think he has time to create a bunch of tiny little micro pieces of content every 5 seconds? Not anymore.
Not even close.
So let's talk about that. Gene, you brought up a good point. Nick, stop being fucking silent. You creep me out.
I'm waiting my turn. I'm being polite.
Just jump in.
He is being polite. That's good.
Well, stop being polite. This is not the
if you notice, he's only polite when there's women on the show.
Yeah, he really is. Let's break it down. So, Gene, you brought up a good point, and then Nick, jump in, cut me off. I don't care.
That's what I do, by the way.
Shush.
Go ahead,
and the thing is that when you say you have to get to that point, what does that mean? So, if I'm a new agent or Michelle wants to get into real estate, right? What does that point mean? Like, when can you get? When can you hire these people? How do you find these editors? Obviously the three of you ninjas are obviously the right people to contact. Of course, we all know that. That's why you're on the show. But for the first person who's maybe just hearing my voice for the first time, God bless your soul.
Sorry.
The only girl. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What does that look like? Gene, Nick, Michelle, guys, I'd love to hear your
go ahead. You take that piece of it. You grab it. I'll piggyback. Go ahead.
So here's the thing, right? I think we can all agree that the one thing that we need is media in our business, right? And so if you think about the old school ways of going after real estate, I'm sure you go to some brokerages are still telling you from 8 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock, you should be cold calling, you should be door knocking, you should be doing all the things that traditional real estate agents do or did in the past, right? From our perspective, from a media side, from a social media side, you should be spending at least 1 hour a day on thinking about your content strategy. And in that aspect of it, from the distribution side, you can record a 10-minute video and then spend 45 minutes chopping that up into a couple pieces of content and then distribute that and have all that done within 2 hours and still have an hour to do cold calling. The point to this is you need to be strategic and you need to be purposeful. So it's no longer an option to not get your message out there, but there's a specific method and madness. And that's why I said, knowing the overall strategy of like, you should be on Instagram versus TikTok, right? That's an overall strategy. And to, I think Gene said, maybe it was Michelle, like, running paid ads. Everybody thinks running paid ads on Facebook is just lead generation, right? Here's one thing that we do, right? Post on social media, see what gets the most engagement organically, and then put a little bit of money behind that post. And you'll always have this refreshed content to get more attention and more eyeballs of more people into your world and then retarget them with the lead generation stuff. It's a simple aspect, but the main issue that I see is just not enough at bats. You do one video or one piece of content one time per week, you're not getting enough at bats, and that's all it comes down to. So just have a purposeful 1 hour of your day focused on how am I going to attract more people into my world with social media. And if that means shooting that 10-minute video, if that means writing that killer blog post, whatever it is, an audio recording, what are you doing for an hour a day that's going to get you more exposure in your business?
Well, yeah, and if I can add to that, because Nick brought up a point that I want to make sure everyone hears. I'm, as a new real estate agent, I'm not an agent, right? I said that in the beginning. I'm not a real estate agent. I know Greg wishes I was, but I am not as of right now. No intention to be so anywhere in the near future. However, what real estate agents, especially the brand new ones, are being told that they have to do is cold call and door knock and farm and all of these things, right? And welcome to the world of 2021. Can I just say that? Because in 2021, that same hour of door knocking versus an hour of, to Nick's point, strategizing how to turn one 10-minute video into 10 pieces of content that you can distribute on 10 channels. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not that good at math, but I can guarantee you it's legitimately at least 10 times the return, right? Because think about how many eyeballs one post can get on Instagram if you do it right. Think about how many eyeballs one good Facebook Live can get on your Facebook when you have 3,000 Facebook friends, right? And how many doors can you knock in an hour? I mean, Greg, you're a real estate agent, right? Answer that question. How many doors can you knock in an hour?
In 1 hour in my marketplace, we can hit 25 doors because we're at a third to a half acre lots. So what you're saying is 100% accurate in regards to the reach and visibility that you can develop. I'm 100,000% behind you guys. Yeah. I post a dumb story about taking the dog for a walk, or talking about real estate with my becoming dog friends, or out showing a new property and then chopping that up and putting that out everywhere. Why the stank face, Volpe?
Oh no, that was just a twitch, bro. That had nothing to do with you. Stop being so sensitive.
I'm very sensitive. Okay, you know this about me. Damn it.
I'm not giving you stink face. You'll know it.
But the thing is that like having that visibility, YouTube is humongo. And that's what the whole thing about Reels on Instagram and everything else. Just get out there and just stay in front of people. And the consistency, I mean, when it comes down to consistency, if you guys have a problem with consistency, just go eat a lot of prunes. Your consistency is 100% solved at that point. Okay.
Wow.
Everybody's laughing on this.
Listen. I want to go back before this thought leaves my head because it happens quickly, right? Nick said a couple things. Michelle backed them up on it. You're asking how to get started. So first off, let's do this. Let's start here. I had a friend who's also a business partner that came to me and said, I should tell you that I'm a TikTok star. And I said, oh, what does that mean? And he goes, I posted my first TikTok on December 22nd, and this was like middle of January. And he goes, and I have 45,000 followers. I go, the video was seen 45,000 times. And he said, no, I have 45,000 followers. So I go on and I look at it and I go, what the hell did you do? So we go back through his TikTok things, right? And this, I'm saying TikTok because it was TikTok. We obviously this is the same thing for Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, whatever. Yeah, Bettina's got us nailed. But so listen, so here's really what it comes down to. I said to him, going back to the next point, I said, let me ask you a question. How much cold calling are you doing in a day and marketing? And he said 4 hours. And I said, okay, how much time are you putting into your Pinterest account? And he said, right now, just kind of as I need to. And I said, okay, here's what you're going to do. Strip 1 hour of those 4. Now you're going to cold call for 3 hours, and you're going to take a full hour every single day and focus on nothing but TikTok. Because if there's 45,000 followers now and you're not spending time, imagine what would happen if you put a little time into it. And he's up to 75,000 plus right now, and he's getting good leads. But here's what I'm saying to you. Success leaves clues. So a lot of times my team, I'll get a phone call from a client, and my client will say, did you see the post that your guys put out for me today? And I go, no, I didn't yet. Why? Well, you posted it 3 weeks ago. It's like a duplicate post. And I go, oh, there's a reason for that. And they go, what? I said, you must have got good insight on the last one. So they go, what do you mean? I go, when you go into your insights, just on your Facebook page, let's say, you go into your insights on your Facebook page, and you can start to see the activity, likes, comments, shares, engagement, all that stuff that you can see. If 3 weeks ago you dropped a 14-second video that got 400x the engagement that anything else does, why wouldn't you repost it? So you use it again because people who didn't look, didn't see it, they want to see it, right? And the people that they weren't served it because the algorithm didn't think they were worthy might see it a second time. If all these people on your feed are telling you they like your content by the fact that they're interrupting your day and making moves on it, then why wouldn't you reuse it? And when I say reuse it, I mean reuse that individual post and also create the same content that was in that first one. So going back to Michelle's, I'm a huge opponent of posting your listings. I think you should because it's going to make your money, but it should be 1 out of every 30 posts. However, if you do make a post, and I always use the cat example, right? Greg loves this. But if you go back and look at an insight and one of your open house videos has 8 million people that it reached, you got to look through that. Was it the pink shirt you wore that day? Was it the way you spoke? Was it a curse word that you used? Was it the cat that walked across the counter behind you? Now you better go out and get a cat and figure it out in your next video because the people interrupted their day to tell you they like something about that video. It's now your job to figure it out and recreate it.
Yep.
Damn, Michelle, where does that break down for reels? I mean, that I'm assuming that goes, hand in hand with kind of how you would create a reel. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. And not even just reels. Like, I know that was how we initially started the conversation because it's important and it's how we create that virality, right? That we're really after. And I think Gene said it in the very beginning, but Instagram and TikTok, Nick said it too. It's like screaming from the rooftops to do video. That's all the subliminal point is, right? Do video. And all of these applications are making it way easier for you to be able to do so. Now, when you're creating reels, the thing with Instagram that's beautiful is exactly what Nick said, or excuse me, Gene said, that you can see the insights for how many people have used it and how many people are getting super solid views on it. And if they're, for example, like the Paper Airplane song I did a reel with this morning, I used that song because it's gotten like 30,000 people that have used it. And so it's got a lot of content in there, which means that if I create a reel and I look at the top trending content within that song, and I remake the same thing with myself in it and my words or questions that show up on the screen, I have just as much of a chance of going viral as that other person. They were no more popular or less popular than me. They just happened to get a great song with great content that ended up going viral because everybody liked the song. And then everybody started recreating reels that were similar to that, getting similar results. So virality is one of those things that leads to more visibility than you could ever do. I mean, Greg, you said 25 doors in an hour. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I first started my career about 7 years ago, I cold called too, right? To get new business into our door. I haven't had to do a cold call, guys, in like 4 years at least.
Right.
And why? Because I have figured out the strategy and the platform that works best for the people that I'm trying to attract, which is Facebook and Instagram, right? Why? Because my ideal client is on Facebook, but wants to learn how to use Instagram, right? So I've figured out the strategy of how do I get somebody from Facebook over to Instagram because they know they need it. They just don't know how, right?
Talk about the super pro tip there, guys. Trending content. So one of we talked about video. Everybody's scared of video. What do I do on video and what do I say? You can literally go into Instagram and check the trending content and look at the top 10 most popular viral videos that are going on. What images, I mean, not what images, but what songs they're using. So you go to the top 10, you see what songs there are. You can actually see what other people are doing with those songs. I know real estate agents love to rip off and duplicate. It's kind of a thing. That's why you watch this show, so you can listen to the words that we speak and just go do it. Like if you want to get involved with Reels, there's no guesswork. Look at the top 10, see what's trending, and then morph that content into your voice, and you have the best chance possible of going viral every time you post.
100%.
I love you, Nick. Thank you. You just made my life easy. And since I'm following Michelle like a stalker because her content's amazing. We're going to be honoring her timeline as well. I know you have a coaching call coming up. And so, Nick, amazing. Gene, outstanding. By the way, guys, everyone who's just listening, he's went through the entire cigar on this show. I didn't know that was possible in 40 minutes, but
almost.
Damn. Michelle, how can everybody get a hold of you? Tell us about your event that's coming up and any programs you have. I want people to get into your ecosystem.
Yeah. So one thing I want to say, and I don't know how we got away from it, but I know that it accidentally happened just because of a conversation. But I think Gene brought up a point when he started saying, like, how can you get started, right? Because you were asking Greg, like, if you're a brand new agent, like what to do, right? And I think not everybody is going to be in the position that you're in, Greg, where you can, one, financially afford to delegate, and two, you have the bandwidth as far as the types of people on your team to be able to do all of this in-house for the most part, right? Because of the ability you have financially. Now, if you're a brand new agent, there's a lot of things you can do, right? You don't need, one, don't spend all your money on Facebook ads. Please, God, like, don't do that. Spend your money on learning how to create organically, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I don't give a crap at all. Just like do something that teaches you how to build a really strong organic presence so that when you do go to do the Facebook ads later on in your career, after you have several, deals under your belt and you have the money to kind of throw at it, knowing that it's not going to stick the first time around, probably, then you're awesome, right? So take advantage of coaching programs, take advantage of one-on-ones with people. I have done more one-on-ones in the last 6 months than I ever have because so many people are finally like, okay, I am my own worst enemy. Time to fix that, right? And I think that's where that comes in. There are courses for days on this stuff. I'm biased. I think mine's better, but at the same time, I know that I'm not for everyone. And that's okay. So to piggyback that into what Greg wanted me to address with all of you guys, obviously, you guys are welcome to follow me on Instagram. My handle is right there, Berman Media Social. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about is I have actually, for the very first time in my career, created a conference that has my name and my coloring and branding and all of that behind it. But the conference is called the Virtual Handshake Conference, and it's teaching you how to build stronger virtual handshakes through social media, through podcasting, and how people have used different social platforms, including podcasting, to generate an organic following and organic business for themselves. Again, all of this being kind of focused on the organic thing before you get to your funnels and paid traffic. The thing I want to say about the conference is there are a total of 9 speakers, myself included. The other 8 speakers, one of which is Marky Lemons, an incredible lady just as a human, but also an insane speaker. She lights every room that she's in on fire. And I'm honored that has decided to say yes to joining me as the other female keynote. Dustin Brome, who's the host of the Massive Agent podcast and runs a large EXP team out of Salt Lake City. Phil Treadwell, he is the mastermind behind Mortgage Marketing Expert. Jeff Feitzer, who's the mastermind behind Drunk on Social, if any of you guys are in that Facebook group, as well as one of the co-founders of Lab Code Agents. Greg Fowler, who is part of Real Estate Titans. If you guys have ever seen his podcast, all he does is interview people like you, Greg, big time, high producing real estate agents that are doing things really, really well. He's actually coming on to do a podcast panel to show you guys how to use podcasting as an opportunity to generate business as a real estate agent in your hyper local area. But the roundabout way of describing it is the conference is 2 days. It's June 8th and June 9th. It's about 5 hours per day. The ticket is a whopping $67, and that includes you guys being able to get the recording on the back end. So if you can't attend a session, but because you have to go show a house or something, which would be a good problem, you can get the recording on the back end. And the early bird pricing, I believe, ends June 2nd. But again, a whopping $67. 4 or 5 hours, 2 days in a row. So 10 hours total of content. That in my opinion, it just doesn't get better than the 9 of us plus the 3 of us here, as far as the types of content or the types of value you can get from people like them. So
That's awesome. That is awesome, guys. Again, if you're listening, it's Berman. I'm dyslexic, so I need shit spelled out for me. BRMAN Media Social. Go make sure you follow her, stalk her in a positive, not in a weird way, in a positive way.
I'm married. Just kidding.
She's like, either one. But no, follow her, guys. She obviously she has a ton of knowledge, and it's a pleasure and an honor to share this digital stage with her. Nick Sakis, the ever shrinking man. How do people get a hold of you? And what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is green because that's my brand color.
Nice.
A la green lights behind me. If you'd like to book a call with me to help, I can help you strategize your social media. Also, we do done-for-you content uniquely to you, and booked appointments on your calendar. Go to getamplifiedmarketing.com. That is getamplifiedmarketing.com, and book an appointment on my schedule, and we'll chat. Help you out.
I love that. God damn it. I can't fucking do this without being in the... there we go. Get Amplified Marketing. There it is, right there. There's his brand. Then we have...
You gotta crop that. Why don't you crop that? God damn it.
Yeah,
Crop. I'm giving him grief, not you, Sakis.
Yeah.
Shut up, scared face. So Gene Volpe, how do we get a hold of you? We have, I believe your media empire is GVI Media. And how do they reach out to you to book a call with you personally? Because Matt's not here to wash their cars. Would you be willing to wash someone's car? I think you would.
No, I will not wash my wife's car, let alone anybody else's that's watching this. So don't get offended. I fight that battle every week. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what you have money for. No, listen, we're talking Instagram today. Go find me on the Gene Volpe and hit me with a DM.
All right, guys. GVI Media right there. Reach out to him 100%. Guys, to reach out to me, it's very, very simple. We are hiring for our EXP team. We got some insanely cool stuff, guys. I've been partnered up with Clever Leads, spelled with a K, and we are doing some incredible stuff. I mean, we have a trucking company that I am not joking when I say this, that I'm getting leads almost on a daily basis, definitely on a weekly basis. And I haven't even marketed this thing yet about moving people in the lower 48 states at a zero cost basis, because we knock off 70% of the cost for the moving. So if you guys are interested in doing something like that, getting more business and kind of figuring out what Gene, your new name is Neen. Gene, Nick, and our guests, and Jake whenever he comes on. And if we can ever get this man on the show, which I highly doubt it, we're always here to bring value to you. So Michelle, since you're our guest, and then Gene and Nick, guys, I need to give you your task. We have to come up with the color for the bow for the show. So Michelle, as our gal on the show, what is your color that you would like to add?
Turquoise.
Turquoise. I love turquoise.
My Instagram Power Method logo back there.
There it is. I needed to introduce you to somebody. So when we get off, don't leave. Nick, your color.
You have 2 minutes.
I'm going to go with brown.
So many jokes with that. Okay.
I was waiting for somebody to jump in. Come on.
All right, Gene, your color.
Since some of us are doing logos today, let's do bow tie orange.
All right, we have bow tie orange, we have turquoise, and then we have Nick brown.
Doo-doo brown.
Doo-doo brown.
No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you for listening. We can't do it without you. We appreciate you more than you know. Guys, go to anywhere you listen and watch podcasts. Give us a 5-star, not a 2-star review. It helps the algorithms push us up to more folks so that I can cough in my exit and really make it awkward. But, we can help more folks get more business. Please hashtag any of these wonderful folks: Michelle Berman, Nick Sakis, Gene Volpe. And if you want to do me, you can do me as well if you like the content we're putting out there. But on that note, guys, until next time, peace out, ninjas. We're gone.